do today is we're going to start. We have this PDF charter party. And what we're going to do, simply put, is that we're going to parse that using Python, and we're going to connect that to Chat GPT. And this is all going to be automated. So the goal is that the end user, operator, or the charter can go into Chat GPT and just ask it normal questions, and it gets answers from the charter party without anyone having to type information into a database or a VMS or anything like that. Is that correct? Is that what we're doing today?
Yeah, that's correct. So what you explained was a three-step process. So when it gets processed initially by a framework within Python. And at that point, it decides whether it's a machine readable text or non-machine readable text gets processed. Then it gets put into GPT through an application program interface. And then the third step would be to ask GPT the particulars of that document. And GPT would presumably provide an outcome. So yeah, so exactly what you said.
Jordan, can I just add something there to that? So in kind of, tugboat captain language, what you're doing on the left-hand side of the screen is you're kind of showing us the back end, kind of behind the scenes of what it looks like once we have that charter party, whether you're putting it into a form, drag and drop or something, you're simulating that first step, that first workflow we were talking about.
Yeah, it's like a sketch. Like just kind of, I'm riffing with the code and the workflow, and then once it's kind of nailed down, then somebody who's smarter than I am will figure out how to put this and automate it in a sort of cloud or backend database.
Okay, I'll edit the part where you said someone smarter than you.
One very interesting workflow is if we have a non-machine readable text. So this one is machine readable, we can highlight it. But if we have just an image document, so we can't highlight it.
Okay.
And this is not a machine readable text. So one thing we can do within the Python environment is use a package that will take each letter and convert it to a machine readable letter. So what we're doing here is just taking an image, which many statement of facts, different sort of documents generated during the voyage are in this image format. Yeah.
So if you get an image in your inbox, and which is the hardest to kind of convert to text, on the left, you're showing us how you do that.
Correct. And by using Python, and then it did successfully convert the text here.
And so the question to a lot of people is, well, if you could do that now, why are we just put it into our VMS or database? I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like the difference is it's just creating a text string, just all that text you see above, and it doesn't have the logic to do what Chat GPT is doing now to actually drop it into the database or into the VMS. But now this little step that you see converting it to make it readable or format, Chat GPT is doing that. Whereas you would have to write out all that code based on that string, assuming that string is the same every single time. If you put vessel or v dot, like you'd have to manually write that out. That step is gone because Chat GPT is converting it. So that is the big shift from the historic way of parsing these documents to the new thing that you just showed us. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the huge struggle up until the dawn of GPT was being able to parse this data, and to do this on the back end or do it in Python, it was very messy. Like you had to deal with different data types, you had to deal with different ways the data was expressed, and handle it in some cases very minutely. It was very work intensive. It almost felt like we were chasing our tail for a lot of years.
We got the charter party in there, but we have this in an email. So how's that any different? How's ChatGPT different than having my email?
Yeah, so now you can ask it questions about the particulars of the document. So you could say, for instance, what is the dead weight? So this would be, what is the dead weight of the vessel? Right. So you can also ask it for the laycan, the contract date.
She's running a little late.
And finally,
so if we had multiple charter parties in here, you'd be able to ask it questions and it essentially pull from the database or a library of all these different charter parties. If you said, please find me the laycan for, you know, this ship name, or, you know, with a few characteristics, it'd be able to find those answers since it'd be pulling back to the database.
yeah, it would. I mean, this would be a chat, you know, this would be asking the challenge here would be asking the right question. So it'd be for a vessel on this date with this laycan, what cargo did it lift? What was the quantity? Something like that. I haven't gotten that far in the process yet, but this is the question that would need to be asked of the GPT API, and then presumably it would respond with the correct answer.